All right, so we are recording. I did it right.
Awesome.
All right, guys, I am so excited to be doing this interview for Permission Hustler with Brandi Riley. I never know what way to point because it always ends up coming up backwards. But
yeah.
Brandi is someone that I've known for a few years now. She just truly is a trailblazer, a force, a ball of passion. If you don't know Brandi already, she, is obviously, I know a lot of people in here also are part of her group, the Courage to Earn community, where she really helps and inspire women to go out there, make money on their blog, create amazing businesses, believe in themselves, offers inspiration and motivation. You do it every single day. And what you do for women is just unbelievable. And then obviously she has her blog, Mama Knows It All. And you have 2 kids.
Yeah.
I just figured out I'm on the East Coast. She's on the West Coast. She's amazing. She's doing this at 6:45. This is not live. So I'm just giving you, this is how awesome. She's doing it at 6:45 a.m. Because it's almost 10 o'clock here, but 9:45 here. So, Brandi, for people that don't know you and people that do know you, because I feel like I know you online. The beginning of someone's story is the pathway. How did you get started, for everyone that doesn't know, even including myself, in truly this space?
Yeah. Well, so I was working in the nonprofit world for a long time, writing curriculum and using the arts to teach kids about things like science and math and all that. I became a single mom, and with that became all these emotions. And I was the first of my friends to have a baby. And they were tired of hearing they didn't tell me they were tired of hearing about it, but I got the sense that they were not quite as emotional and as invested in every single milestone that happened as I was.
Yes, I love it.
I started my blog. It was the day before my daughter's first birthday. And I had bought all of these things to celebrate at her daycare, and we were having a party, and I was just overcome with emotion. So I decided to just write it out, and I started my blog there. Within seriously just a couple of weeks. So I think you're like this too, Audrey, like when you get an idea, you kind of go all in. Yeah. And so I was like, I'm blogging now. I started researching and found a group, Philly Social Media Moms, which is Jolynn Shane runs that group. And joined that group, and there was so much information. It was just like a whole new world about making money and about conferences and about being a better writer and design and all that kind of stuff. And so really quickly, I realized that this could be something that could help me to be better financially and career-wise. This could be that thing that I wanted when I was a kid, to be a writer. I could actually do that and be in charge of that. So I went to Bloggy Bootcamp within like 4 months of starting my site. Bloggy Bootcamp, like I said, I was a single mom, so I didn't have extra money like that. Right. So I borrowed the money from my brother. And I was on the wait list, got off the wait list, and they said, okay, just pay for your ticket. I didn't have the money, borrowed the money, got into the room and connected with people there from Collective Bias. So Collective Bias is a shopper marketing agency. And although I didn't have the numbers or any following or anything then, I was kind of sistered into the community and started making money from blogging. $25 was my very first post, and I was thrilled. They sent the money via PayPal. Immediately after I finished, I was like, this is the type of business I want to be in. And from there, it blossomed, relationships, meeting people at Collective Bias. I was able to do a lot more campaigns. I came on staff with them, was promoted, ended up leaving as a senior manager.
Wow.
And then worked myself into other positions. So I worked with She Knows Media as the social media manager for Blog Her. And then I worked at Facebook for a little while. I like to try a lot of different things.
Right.
And so, but all within that, I've been working with women. And a friend told me, that's kind of like your through line, is working with women, educating, and I started to think about how could I do that in a way that would honor what I love to do, but I could be in charge of it, because I love doing it with Collective Bias, counseling bloggers and influencers and empowering women, but it was still under somebody else's umbrella. So Courage to Earn was my thing. You know, it started just with a webinar, and I called it Blog Confidential, what was it? Yeah, Blog Money Confidential.
That was the original name?
That was the original name, Blog Money
Wow.
Confidential. Yeah, yeah. And it was a webinar. And at first, when I was first registering for the webinar, I was like, you guys are going to have to sign an NDA because I'm telling all the secrets. And my friend who's a lawyer was like, you don't have to go that far. Like, just ask people not to, you know, and then certain things just don't tell. But there were 100 slots for $50. 100 slots were filled up, you know, and I was just like, wow, you know, people really want this information. Mm-hmm. So right after the webinar, my stepmother who raised me, she passed away from cancer. And that obviously changed things a lot for me. I did a lot of reflection, and I looked at her life as an inspiration. You know, she was amazing. She was really talented, was a seamstress, but really, when she passed away, she was working at an insurance agency making like dollars per hour. You know what I mean? It wasn't even a salary position. And she had been there for almost a decade. And her job, you know, they sent like a $20 in a card, like, yeah, sorry for your loss. And I was like, all the energy and time that she put into that could have been put towards her own thing. And she could have lived more, you know, she could have been more fulfilled. And I thought about what was stopping her. And the thing was, she didn't have people in her corner saying to her, you can do this. I believe in you. You have the talents, you have the skills. You just need to tell people what your rate is. Right. Tell them what you charge to make them a wedding dress or a prom dress or whatever it is that they want to buy from you. So I changed the name to Courage to Earn because I realized for a lot of women, that's what was missing, the courage, the confidence to actually say, yeah, I'm good at this and I deserve to be paid.
Wow. You know, I have goosebumps on I didn't know the story behind the name.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I love that. Now tell me this then, when you have, obviously there's new bloggers always popping up. I'm sure you get asked questions all the time. You know, how do you make money? How do you start? You know, and I'd love to know your opinion on this, because a lot of people kind of see what, you know, we do in the blogging space. And I can 100% say it's not a hobby for the two of us. This is a job. We don't go somewhere from 9 to 6, Monday through Friday. This is what, you know, and we're working a lot more hours than that, but we love it. Do you feel that the blogging space for new people coming in, and I guess social media in general, Brandi, is saturated? Do you feel that there's still a mom out there that's watching this right now and going, I'm in the same shoes as Brandi was in, but I feel like there's just so many blogs out there. How could I be different? Do you feel that it's too saturated?
Well, I definitely think it's saturated. I feel like if you have a story that is unique and interesting and relatable, mm-hmm. which seems like they're two different things, like unique, interesting, but relatable. But, you know, it's basically about niching down. You know, are you a mom who's having trouble breastfeeding and you're going to write about all the different ways that you learned how to breastfeed better? Are you a mom who is working part-time and still trying to make ends meet, so you do a bunch of side hustles and little gigs like driving Uber and things like that, and you're going to write about that? I think if you have a niche, then you will be fine.
Yeah.
If you have the time and the energy to put in consistent work. It's definitely saturated in the lifestyle space. I write about everything. I think some of us, and I'm going to put us in that box, you know, Audrey, me, you, Vera, my friend Amira, like some of us, we're in this space and we've been here and our feet are grounded, so we can do lifestyle because Google already likes us and our audience is already built. But if you're just now coming into this space saying, oh, I'm going to write about movies and hair care and, you know, baby diapers and Clorox and money, and you have to find a place to position yourself where you can stand out and where your story will be incredibly helpful and useful to a particular audience. You have to go after one demographic and really just kind of beat them over the head with your content.
I agree 100%. Tell me this, where does I know that we all have a why, and I see one of your whys behind you.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Where do you get the passion to keep going? Because you know, and I know there are days that you just want to knock on the wall, maybe sometimes throw the laptop out the window.
Yeah.
How do you find the passion to just, get up again and just keep going? What do you do to get yourself in that mindset?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple things. I think the first thing is definitely my kids and my husband too, my family. My husband, he left out for work already. He leaves out of the house by, 6:30, 6:40 every single morning and drives an hour into the city, into San Francisco to go to work. And then he comes back, another hour. And I see that he's doing all of that for our family.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to sit back and just be like a passive participant in our lives, and there is a dream for me to be able to take some of that pressure off of him, which I've been able to do. Like we're going on vacation on Sunday, and then we are going on another big family vacation in August. And those things are possible because he knows that I'm contributing and that he doesn't have to foot everything.
Yes.
And then also with my children, I know that my daughter's at the age now where she sees me up at 6:45 talking to my girlfriend, sharing this information because it's important to me. This is part of the work that I do. And I want her to see that, when you care about something, when you're dedicated to something, then you get up and you do it.
Right. Absolutely. And now I know that you also do your courses too. You have courses over on Teachable, and that's the platform that you use. What made you want to create some courses for women?
Well, and I think this is important for a lot of women to consider. At a certain point, your expertise and your time and your energy get to the point where you have to charge kind of a premium for spending time with you. So kind of one-on-one access is a little bit more expensive, but I still want to be accessible to folks, which is why I have Courage to Earn, the community where anybody can come in and they can have access to me. Maybe I'm not in there all the time, but I know what's going on. If somebody tags me, I can answer a question. If I see something where I can help out and I have the time to jump in, I can do that. The courses are kind of an offshoot of that. So maybe they can't do one-on-one with me, but they have a little bit more than just needing to be in the free group. They have a little bit of income that they can invest in their business in whatever way. So the courses is a way for them to be able to get what other folks who can afford to spend time with me one-on-one, what they can get that type of information also.
Now, tell me, when you have a woman, because one thing I love about you, Brandi, is that you're an amazing, you're amazing at giving advice. But, you're also too, which one thing I've picked up on you quite a bit is that you listen. A lot of people just talk and they don't listen. You are a woman's woman, I guess, is how I've kind of always thought of it. You have like a man's man. You're like a woman's woman. You're in people's corner.
Yeah.
And I guess my question off of that is what do you hope that people encourage to earn? Whether they're checking it every hour or every day or, once a week or whenever they just get access to the content. What are you hoping that these women gain from being in that community? Because like you said, there is stuff going on all the time. It is a rich, beautiful community. If you're not in it, definitely make sure you get in the community. But what do you want people to take away from it?
I want them to take away action. I want them to be empowered to actually do and not only ask questions. I want them to see folks telling how they're succeeding and see folks winning and want that same thing for themselves and be willing to actually do what it takes to succeed. They always say there's no such thing as a stupid question, and I don't think there is, but there's definitely a thing as too many questions. And I know sometimes I use questions and research as a stall technique. And so there are times in Courage to Earn where somebody will ask the same question that they asked 2 months ago. And what I love is now I used to have to be the one to do it, but now the community is jumping in and saying, hey, you asked this question before. I remember you talking about this, so we're not letting people just kind of sit there and use the group as a place to just chill. We want you to actually get stuff done.
Well, I love that. And now, I'm curious on your answer on this one because, I think, people like us who started in this a while ago, we are, many of us are like kind of the front line. Like I've always kind of said that we don't have many people before us that we look to and go, okay, so 5 years ago or 10 years ago, she did this. You know, we're kind of all really, you know, on this frontier together. It's a wild, wild west, and we've all been on the ride together. But, you know, what women, like genuinely, like, is there a woman out there that, you know, like you constantly read books by her or quotes by her? Is there someone that just truly inspires you? You listen, you know, you watch their videos or whatever to go to see her speak. Who inspires you? Because I know you inspire so many people, but who gives you those goosebumps?
Yeah. You know, I mean, this is going to be so cliche. I mean, I'm inspired by all of the women that I read online. I read a lot online and a lot of blogs and individual bloggers and things like that. But Oprah.
I was going to say, please say Oprah, because
Oprah, I mean, she just really is. She's my biggest inspiration, because to me, it's not about Oprah. When she does things, it's about the people that she is helping to lift up. You know, she does things like you're doing now, like interviewing other successful people. She has a book club that highlights writers. You know, everything she does is about being a vehicle for other people to make their way to wherever it is their life's purpose is leading them. And to me, that's more inspiring and empowering than, you know, being a prolific speaker or, you know, an amazing artist. To being a helper, and being a helper at that magnitude is just like, it blows me away. And that is just my goal. That's my goal.
I love it. I was hoping you were going to say Oprah, because for those of you that don't know, we actually got to be together. And where we got to actually interview Oprah. And for all of us, it was just one of those, you know, one of those moments, I guess, in life that you'll never forget, because she was magnetic and charismatic, you know, that we all thought she would be. So, you know, I would have answered that question the same exact way. She is who inspires. I have a million quotes of her on my board. She is, to me, the ultimate. So I love that you said that. I would have answered the same exact way. But, and I know that you got to go, but I have one more question for you before you know. So, you know, I know, listen, there's no expiration date on what we do. Like, we could keep doing this until we're 100 years old. But what is one thing, like, you know, one like little like legacy that you would like love someone to look back at and say about you? Like, you know, hey, you know, whether it be your daughter or, you know, or someone out there that you've helped, like, what's one thing that if you heard, like you said, your stepmother, you know, you really, you dug deep and you reflected, what would you love someone to think about you? Because you are changing lives.
Yeah. I want people to look back and say, man, she was a helper. She helped a lot of people, you know, more than, oh, she was so smart, she was so funny. I want them to say, she helped me. I remember talking to her and she inspired me. She was awesome. She empowered me. You know, I want people to look back and see that I supported them in following their dreams. That's most important to me.
I love that. Well, listen, Brandi, you are someone that has always inspired me. You continue to keep doing what you're doing. You are truly, genuinely helping women change their lives, forge ahead, get the courage to go out there and you know, do what they're supposed to do. So thank you for taking time this morning with me. I adore you, and I'm one of your biggest cheerleaders. And I just thank you for taking the time to share more about yourself. I didn't know the story of the beginning of Courage to Earn. And you know, just little things like this, all of a sudden, it just, it's just light bulb moments that you're like, wow, like that's an incredible story that I had no idea about. So that's beautiful.
Well, I thank you for inviting me. You know, I look up to you also. You along with Vera and Jolene, like, you guys were the first people that I really saw in this space who were moms and were, you know, proud moms, not snarky moms, you know, like, who actually cared about your kids. And but you were also working really hard. So I am thrilled to be here this morning. So thank you for inviting me.
You're the best. Thank you. Have an awesome day. And I love the fact that you got up so early, and I got your back. Anything now that you need. I'll stay up extra late for you at one night if you need me to. So
awesome. Thank you so much.
Brandi.